At the moment, there is a ceasefire or humanitarian pause, if you want to call it that way, in Gaza. The Israeli authority and Hamas have both accepted a 4 days truce in the fighting. Within these 4 days, some prisoners will be released and some hostages will also be released, and then humanitarian aid will be led into the Gaza Strip because the people in Gaza have been going through a lot since Israel's bombardment of the Gaza Strip. It has been a very difficult moment for the people living in Gaza, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. So I want us to go to this article that talks about the death toll in this whole thing in Gaza and how many people have been killed by Israel's continuous bombardment in Gaza. The headline reads, Palestinian death toll in Gaza jumps to over 13,300. I think it should be more than that because this article was written a few days ago. So I think it should be more than that. It should be like, I think 15,000 now. Death toll includes 5,600 children, 3,550 women, according to Gaza-based government media office. Well, the one that Israel has continuously warned us about and has told us not to listen to them because according to Israel, these numbers are not factual. These numbers are fake because they are produced by the Gazian Ministry of Public Health. So no one should believe them because they are not factual. They are all fake numbers. And Israel will want us to believe them. After all, according to Israel, right, they have been telling us the truth. And if there's one entity that we can all believe in this whole conflict, it should be Israel, not the other way around. Because Israel has been very honest, has been very forthcoming, has been very straightforward with us. And they have told us nothing and nothing but the truth. You can see me laughing, right? Because that's just so laughable. Because Israel has lied the whole way. But they will keep on telling us not to believe what the Ministry of Public Health in Gaza tell us about the death toll. Those numbers, don't believe them. They are very hawkish. They are fake. But let's continue. Authorities in Gaza on Monday said the death toll from the ongoing Israelis attacks on Gaza since October 7 has jumped to over 13,300. In a statement, the Gaza-based government media office said the death toll includes 5,600 children and 3,550 women. In addition to that, the death toll also includes 201 medical staff, 22 members of the civil defense rescue teams, and 60 journalists. Oh my God. Since a cross-border attack by Hamas on October 7, Israel has launched relentless air and ground attacks in the Gaza Strip. Thousands of buildings, including hospitals, mosques, and churches, have also been damaged or destroyed in Israel's air and ground attacks on the besieged enclave. The Israeli death toll, meanwhile, is around 1,200 according to official figures. So we can now hear what is going on in Gaza and the number of people who have died from this whole Israel's bombardment of Gaza. And we must have to remember, right? I know most of the time people just draw their conclusion from October 7 alone, and they would think that, oh, Hamas started this whole atrocities and Hamas brought this upon themselves, and Hamas is the one that needs to be blamed for what the Palestinians or the Gazians are going through. That is true, but that is only half a truth. Okay, because before the 7th of October, Gaza has been under a siege. Israel will make you believe that they gave Gaza back to the Palestinian Authority. And from there, it has been under the control of Hamas. And Hamas has been the one that has totally ruined Gaza. But if you listen to all this and you ask them one thing, if that is the case, how come Hamas has no military? except the what you guys describe as terrorists? How come Hamas has no seaport, even though they are close to the ocean? How come they have no seaport? How come the people living in Gaza have no airport? They can't fly out directly from Gaza. How come? And how come their water, electricity is being controlled by Israel? How come? If you guys totally left the place, then how come you guys control almost every single thing that goes in and out of Gaza? How come? So, my brothers and sisters, this just goes to tell you what mostly superpowers will say. And the reason I have experience about something like this firsthand is because I have told you before, I am an African from Africa, and I understand what some of these European powers will say about Africa and how they've given Africa independence, and how countries in Africa have their independence, and how countries in Africa are being governed by people from the respective countries. And whatever decision they make is from them, not from the colonial powers. That's what they will say. That's what they will re-echo again and again and again. And most people who do not know about the history of Africa, or who have never been to Africa, will not understand. They will think that all the problems that Africa is facing is caused by Africa's poor leaders who want nothing but to see Africa in total chaos, underdeveloped, and poor. That is not the case. It is true Africa has corrupted leaders. It is true Africa practices nepotism. It is true African leaders are corrupt, and all they do is embezzle. It's true they loot. That's true. But that's not the entire story. The white colonial masters have never totally given up Africa. They have granted the so-called independence, but they still have a lot of strings attached to Africa. And from time to time, they will pull those strings. And that is the truth. So that's why when Israel is saying that we gave Gaza to the Gazians, and we gave them to the Palestinian Authority, and Hamas took over and turned Gaza into a jihadist stronghold, I'm like, yeah, that is right. You're right to say that. But this also can still be right, that you guys never totally gave up Gaza. That at one point in time, you guys supported Hamas because you guys thought that it was what would keep the Palestinian authorities at bay. You wanted something that would break away the West Bank from Gaza. And you supported Hamas. That also is true. So many things can be true at the same time, not just one. Many can be true at the same time. And Israel hasn't really proven themselves to be someone people can trust, because they've told lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. So I don't think people really trust them, because they lie like a lot. And do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Many, if not all, government lie. They do lie all the time. But do not come to tell us that you are telling the truth, whereby you are just telling us lies. Do not do that. People are way more smarter, and people can figure out when you are lying and when you are telling the truth. But you guys out there, when you hear figures like this of people who have died in Gaza, when you see the number of children who have died in Gaza, what comes to mind? Let us know in the comment section below. We appreciate hearing what you have to say. Please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. That helps us a lot. And we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.